Hi there, it's Sarah here from Manky Feet, and today I've just put together a quick slideshow for you because I'm always getting asked about diabetes. So many of my patients are diabetic, and we have to take extra care when doing foot health inspections. But it's not all bad news being diabetic. With the right education and foot health care, you really can live a full life. You just need to be clever with what you're eating, making sure you're taking care of getting regular health checks, and paying special attention to your feet, your eyes, and your kidneys. But no, the information is out there, and this is a quick slide just for you guys. In the UK last year, well, actually in England, I believe, not even in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, in England alone, nearly 3 million people were diagnosed with diabetes. That would be type 1 and 2. And I am seeing more and more diabetic patients, and I have done the last 5 years. I would say probably 60% of my patients now are actually diabetic, mostly type 2, which is controlled by weight and tablets. I only have a very few high-risk patients with diabetes, but they are out there. And when you have true diabetes, it's nasty, and you really have to have the right healthcare. You need to have the right mindset to be looking out for problems before they even occur. I've put together this quick slideshow because I get asked all the time from customers about diabetes. So it's a quick video for them, just so they can educate themselves and just get more information that they can help themselves. I have patients in the UK, but I also have a big following in America and Canada. So I've put on here the websites that you can go to for the UK and also for America. So on these websites, what you're going to find out is great forums, help sheets, a checklist, what you need to know, what you should be eating, drinking, when you should be seeking advice. There's some very helpful links if you need to ask a doctor, ask a nurse. The help is out there, and all these websites have Facebook pages as well, where you can interact with different diabetic patients as well, like you. So you're not alone, and you can find a lot of information for free without even having to go and see your doctor. Also, the Diabetes Forecast is an online diabetic magazine. It's an American magazine, but it's helpful for anywhere in the world for you. And they do some great articles. And again, there's a forum on there that you can make friends and learn more about diabetes. And one thing that I do always recommend to my diabetic patients is this website, and that's the diabetes.org, but the guide to diabetes with great recipes, healthy options. You need to educate. Education is everything with diabetes. So you make sure you're eating the right food, and that's going to go a long way in your healthcare. Okay, so 3 things you need to look out for as a diabetic. The number one issue I have with foot health care is circulation issues, neuropathy disease. I'm not going into all the fine facts about this on this video. There'll be other videos, and again, if you go through to any of those websites on the previous slide, you'll be able to find everything you need to know about it. But the main concern I get with diabetic patients is lack of circulation. People complaining of cold feet, restless legs, sort of painful numbness, and feet that just don't feel like their own anymore. This is a very common problem, and that's because the nerves get damaged with diabetes. So it's a common problem, and not one that necessarily you need to panic about, but you do need to know about it. Something that does happen with circulation issues is that you actually lose your hair on your feet and toes. They stay discoloured and cold looking all the time, so they look grey, bluish, and you get a lot of cramps. And in bed at night time, people say about jumping, restless legs, hot feet. These are all circulation issues. A quick tip that you could try is actually to make sure you're well hydrated. Dehydration is a big issue. Talk to your GP, because it may be that you need to increase your potassium, your calcium, your magnesium. There's various different vitamins that you might need to up that the diabetes may be affecting. But if in doubt, just talk to your doctor. And tip number two, skin and toenail appearance. This is actually one of the first signs that, as a foot health professional, I notice on patients. I start seeing changes to regular patients. I might get a little bit concerned. And over maybe a 2 month period, if I'm seeing some changes, I will recommend that my patients go for a diabetic check. With the skin and nails, what normally occurs is the skin gets pretty dry, flaky. Again, that's kind of like a dehydration. Very common to get thick toenails, discoloured toenails. This is because diabetes does affect the skin, and it makes you much drier. And toenails, when you're not getting such a great circulation, they normally become thicker and discoloured, and you can get toenail fungus. Another big problem with the skin is that you'll get sores that just do not want to heal. So you might get a crack, a split in your heel, maybe a blister if you've been doing a lot of walking, and the sore is just is raw still, and you're really struggling to heal. Again, these are very, very important things to look out for, and you must make sure if you can't heal the problem yourself in a few days, you see a professional. Another big thing is an enlarged big toe. Gout, oh my gosh, gout. The big toe goes bright red. It can affect you in any joint, but often it's the big toe. It's very painful. It can be caused not just by diabetes, but many medications, infections, and of course arthritis, all affected by diabetes. My tip here is just don't walk around barefoot. If you're concerned, or if you have specifically got type 1, do not walk barefoot. I don't care where you are, do not walk barefoot. Type 2 should be the same rule, but if you're still got a pretty good sensation and you're pretty clued on, just take care. And the nasty thing that we see is diabetic ulcers. These are sores that just will not heal, and if left untreated may actually cause gangrene and amputation. These are probably things that your diabetic nurse has told you and scared you half to death. For the majority of people, it will be something you will never have to deal with, but if in doubt, seek advice. And my tip number 3 is self-exams. Just do it, and do it weekly. Prevention is always the best cure, so help yourself, check your feet daily, and once a week is a good pattern to do an inspection. Wash your feet daily, dry the feet carefully after washing, making sure you're drying between the toes. Don't go slapping loads of talcum powder or cream while your feet are wet. It's best not to put anything in between the toes. Just keep them nice and clean and make sure they're dry. Look out for cuts and sores, maybe like splits or cracks, or if you've done a lot of walking, maybe blisters. Warts are very common, warts and verrucas. They can appear underneath the feet, on top of the toes. And the other common problem is athlete's foot, which is a fungal infection, commonly in between the toes, but can affect any of the skin around the feet. All can be easily treated. You just need to make sure you're using diabetic-friendly products. Exercise your feet. Keep them moving. It's no good just sitting around all day for anybody, especially as a diabetic. You've got to be healthy and you've got to help yourselves. Make sure your toenails aren't too long. Just in case you scratch yourself in bed, they might split and rip, and they may have a discoloured look. If they do, it could be because you're getting a fungal infection. Again, there are diabetic podiatry products that are safe for diabetic patients. If in doubt, speak to your foot health professional. And I know I keep saying just in doubt, if there's any doubt, just check. If you are at all concerned about anything to do with your feet, the change in colour, the dryness, the thickness of the nails, if you've got sores, visit a professional. And you can go to your GP, your diabetic nurse. There's lots of places you can go to get free advice. And of course, you've got the website links as well, which will go into detail about any problems that might be occurring with your feet. So, there you go. That's my 3 top quick tips on how to look after your feet with diabetes. If you would like a little bit more in detail information regarding the neuropathy, how to look after your feet with ulcers, if you suffer from very dry skin, with splits, if you think you've got toenail fungus or thick toenails, click on the link below and I'm going to send you through my free guide, which is just going to detail a little bit more. On the guide, you're going to get a fantastic foot health information. I'm going to teach you how to save time and money, how to look after your diabetic feet, and how to prevent diabetic foot pain in the first place, like cramps and restless legs, which is a massive, massive problem with diabetics. And where you can buy diabetic safe foot care products, which is really important. You have to be so careful when choosing products for your feet as a diabetic. So get the information. It's free. Just click on the link. Cheers.